into a Demetria joint, and then we're gonna come back with. We're not coming back with Demetria. No, I'm just playing. We're gonna come back with Demetria after this joint, and I'm pretty sure this is a joint that you guys all love. Definitely one of my favorite joints. And here we go.
Say they wanna love somebody. Say they wanna find a lady. Touching all that boots. Riding around new Mercedes. Say they wanna blow that check. But then they start acting shady. No. I be whipping in that Barbie. Yellow diamonds on my wrist. I be all up on your TV. And I got these haters pissed. CEO wanna see me. I just scratch them on my list. I'm a grown woman, I do both. Keep it 100, baby, 'cause I wanna love someone, just be honest. And tell me all that you want 100, because it's written all over your face, why you frontin'? Just be honest, 100, baby, 'cause I wanna love someone, just be honest. Tell me all that you want 100. No time for silly little games you play, just be honest. 100, 1. See, I need a man, keep it 1,000. Expect to commit, I'm done with browsing. So tell me all your intentions. Boy, my intuition telling me something different. Boy, you claiming you the truth when you all up in them streets. You can't be a man, keep it real with me. Tell me what you want. I know just who to be. Say you want a wife, but really you want a freak. I be whipping in that Barbie, yellow diamonds on my wrist. I be all up on your TV, and I got these haters pissed. CEO wanna see me, I just scratch them on my list. I'm a grown woman, I do both. Keep it 100, baby, 'cause I wanna love someone, just be honest. And tell me all that you want 100, because it's written all over your face, why you frontin'? Just be honest, 100, baby, 'cause I wanna love someone, just be honest. Wanna love someone, tell me all that you want, yeah. No time for silly little games you play. Keep it 100 with me. It's a long line of them that was wishing they was running with me. And they all find something that they love about me. Get addicted to me, can't live without me. And I don't doubt it, 1 second hard to get on my level. I can't settle for nothing less than better. You better be ready to battle the stormy weather. And if everything shattered, could you pick up the pieces and make it all 100 again? Or would you rather be running with your friends instead of celebrating the diamond woman that's right here? Instead of spending all of your time doing anything other than making me smile from ear to ear. I ain't impressed easily, let's be clear. I need that genuine so I can ride that pony to the moon. Baby, 'cause I wanna love someone, just be honest. Demetria, and tell me all that you want 100, because it's written all over your face, why you front? We just want y'all to keep it 100. Just be honest. Just be honest. 100, baby, 'cause I wanna love someone, just be honest. Tell me all that you want 100. No time for silly little games you play, just be honest. 100, 1.
Get social with us. Hit us up on our website at myrealtalkradio.com. Like our Facebook like page at My Real Talk Radio. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram at My Real Talk Radio. Subscribe and listen to all of our celebrity interviews, as well as having our show delivered to your smartphone, PC, or tablet, free of charge and hassle-free. All you got to do is download the free app called Mixcloud from your Android or iPhone application store, and there you have it. Let's do it. All right, we are live in the building with a very, very, very special guest. singer, actress, reality television star, Demetria McKinney is in the building. How are you, and welcome to the show?
Doing great. How are you? Thanks.
So excited to have you on. Been a fan of yours for a minute, and we're also really, really excited to see you on Housewives. So we're just honored.
Oh man, it's been fun. It's been a good time.
Now you've had a tremendous career. You've accomplished a lot, but I want to kind of go back just for a second. Of where are you from, and describe a little bit about your upbringing.
I'm actually a military brat. So I was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yes, we are out there, people. And I kind of lived somewhere everywhere, from the Philippines to Florida. Fort Walton Beach is normally the place I claim or whatever, because I kind of went to high school there, and ended up in Atlanta after my college stuff.
Okay. And when was your interest? When did your interest start in terms of the arts, with your singing and acting?
Oh, wow. I've been singing since I was 3. Whether it sounded good or not, I made people pay attention and listen like it was not a choice in the matter. Life kind of kicked my butt a little bit when I was growing up. My stepfather kind of liked me a little bit too much, and it caused a lot of things to happen, and music was always my outlet. So the passion for music has been there from birth. Acting, I got into a bit more when I was in college. I was on a vocal scholarship, and one of the criteria for the scholarship was you had to audition for 3 plays. And each time I auditioned, I ended up with the lead. And from there, it got into the Tyler Perry stuff. I auditioned for a show called The Woman I Am Today, and he happened to be in the audience of 30 people, and he took me and took the acting off. But I always had to make sure that it came back to the first love, which was music.
Wow, definitely. And of course, you mentioned in Tyler Perry. How did you even begin to kind of start working with him? Because you've been on several of his plays, from Meet the Browns to What's in the Dark to Why Did I Get Married to Medea's Family Christmas, and so much more. You
better have that information, sir. Yes. I got started with him, as I said. I auditioned for this play, and it was done by a guy named William Parks, who's still a very dear friend. And there was some stuff going on to where we only got to do, I think 2 shows. And the second one happened to be in Dothan, Alabama, with about 30 people in the audience. And Mr. Perry was there. He was kind enough to help me with my mic. We talked. I knew exactly who he was. He was so down to earth and cool. And then from there, he at intermission, he was at my dressing room asking for my information. But I was the opening act for the second half, and 30 people or 30,000, I was going to give them all I could. So I was like, You're going to have to wait. And I think he respected that, and he actually waited until the end of the show. He was so cool about it. He got my information, and 3 months later, I was out on Meet the Browns, and it's been a wrap ever since.
Wow, that's a pretty interesting story. Now, of course...
Yeah, looking back, it wasn't my smartest move. It could have gone a whole different way, huh?
You're right. But one thing I like about Tyler Perry, because we also had Denise Boutte on the show sometime last year, is that he's always done a really, really good job with reusing his cast. Meaning, whether you're in one of his plays, he usually kind of puts you in a movie or a sitcom. So I kind of want to go right into House of Pain. How was that whole experience with the cast and just the whole show as a whole?
Oh, wow. It's always exhilarating to be part of a game changer. House of Pain broke the mold for the way that filming is done. No one had ever done 100 series or 100 show episode series like that, and the pace at which we worked was so fast. It was it was so fast, and we had so many different levels of experience. I had never done television prior to that. You had Alan Payne, who's been everything from Lance on the Cosby Show to in Jason's Lyric and everything else he's done. You had the Keisha Knight Pulliam, you had the Lance Grosses, and then you had the breakout stars like China Ann and Doc Shaw, who I'm so happy for. So we all got a chance to learn from each other, as well as the experience under the tutelage of a visionary like Tyler. It was a great, great springboard for me to be able to do any and everything else I want to do.
And what you guys are filming over 254 episodes, you guys are syndicated. You won NAACP awards. I mean, it has been a huge success. And But with that, one thing I will say about that whole show was I like the fact that it was never anything degrading. It wasn't ratchet. It was wholesome family television that I think is kind of missing nowadays.
Absolutely. I don't think since the Cosby Show I've seen the kind of show that we tried to put out. And what I loved about it was that it was a sitcom, but it was a sitcom with a value. We talked about some very important things. We talked about drug abuse. We talked about teen pregnancy. We talked about illiteracy. We talked about all kinds of things that affect, especially the African American community, that we don't necessarily talk about. And it gave an avenue for parents and kids to really be able to sit down and say, hey, that was funny, but that comedy happened in here. You know what I mean? It was a great conversation starter, and I loved being a part of that.
And do you have any other future roles with Tyler Perry in terms of movies or anything else in the works?
Wow! As soon as he calls me for the next thing, I will be there. The thing about reality television is you don't know how people are going to understand your reality. And Mr. Perry, having worked with me as long as he has, he's known me. He knows who I am. He actually offered me some support maybe 3-4 days ago. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the very next project I get to do with him. But in the meantime, I've got 2 movies coming out. One is called Let the Church Say Amen. It's Regina King's directorial debut. It's got Naturi Naughton, Hosea Chanchez, really, really cool stuff. And then I've also got Sons to the Grave, which was directed by Mykelti Williamson. You all may remember him as Bubba Gump. And studying under him was really cool. He's got his own set of colors that he likes to come and play with, and he's not afraid to share. So that was great. And that has Atlantic recording artist Trevor Jackson as well as Darrin Henson and myself in it. And it's a really, really powerful story that takes a look into what's going on in the inner cities and makes us really have to focus on making some changes there. And it's based off of a true story. So I'm really excited to still be doing my acting thing, finally getting to live my dream with the music, and testing the waters with this reality TV joint.
So, before we get right into the reality television joint, I also want to talk just a little bit about your sitcom on the Ricky Smiley Show. How was that?
Yeah, that's fun. Ricky's an idiot. Ricky is stupid. Oh my God!
Straight face.
I don't know. I think that's one of the biggest gifts of being an actor is that you have to really take yourself out of it, but be present in the moment. Like, I know he's stupid, and once camera is cut, you're a couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. Like, what's wrong with you? And just his ability to be as witty as he is, as quick as he is, really, really helped us to solidify what that show is, and we've really been thankful and happy about the success. So it is definitely coming back this year as well.
Definitely. And also, last but not least, Devious Maids on Lifetime. You have a recurring role on there. How was that filming with those ladies?
Oh my gosh. I think I was really nervous when I first had to meet everybody because that's a show that reaches such a wide demographic. And I think the biggest part of it was knowing that I was going to meet Miss Susan Lucci. I remember watching her when I spent summers with my grandmother, and she was like, all right, my stories is on. Y'all go lay down and go to sleep, And I would have that one eye open watching these soaps, as they call them, and I remember the stories being such a valuable part of everybody's day-to-day. So to see how humble she was, to see how sweet she was, and to see how she offered herself up for any kind of information was just really, really awesome. I enjoyed the experience, and it was fun getting to punch somebody.
And the great thing about it is you've worked with some huge names, and just putting that on your resume alone is a huge accomplishment.
One of the biggest things that I've been proud of, and I don't know how many people are aware of this, but Jennifer Holliday, the original Effie, is a standout character and woman. And when she was able to acknowledge the work I did in an opera called I Dream, and call me personally and ask me to play Dina opposite her Effie, that was one of the pinnacles for me. Like, I really feel blessed to have done the work that I've done in my career and where it's possibly going to take me next.
Definitely. So now we have to talk about Housewives of Atlanta, Season 7. Now, of course, we know you are surrounded by a bunch of catty women with huge personalities and over-the-top personas. How did you even decide to even want to go on that program?
Oh, it was not a decision that was made lightly. When I decided to do this, it was scary. It was scary because you don't know how the ball is going to bounce once you drop it in that pool or on that court. Transitioning from acting into music was something that could only happen and happen effectively for me if people knew who I was. They know the characters, they're familiar with the words, they can IMDb me all day long, but that doesn't give you an insight into who Demetria McKinney's personality is, what I've been through, that I'm a true single mother, that I'm sensual without being raunchy, that I'm real. Like, I'll sit here and have a beer with you while we watch a Cowboys game because that's my team. You know, people didn't know enough about me to relate to the music. And so I made the decision very, very, very cautiously to jump into this school in an effort to give people an opportunity to get to know me and hope that it would translate into, I can rock with her music. And thank God it has.
Okay. Now, of course, when you're brought into these situations, of course, we know that the Atlanta Housewives franchise is a huge success. And secondly, we kind of know what to expect in terms of what we're seeing on television. But before the cameras started to air, do they give you guys some type of sit-down meeting or a big meet and greet where you guys can kind of get to know each other a little bit, or do they just kind of just throw you guys right out there?
No. They threw me in here, and luckily a couple of the ladies I knew or thought I knew. I knew Cynthia Bailey from before. She's always been a sweetheart. She is one of the best things that have come out of this is that our relationship has gotten so much closer. And I thought I knew Portia, so I kind of, and Candy's always, you see how I said that, I got to be careful, honey. Candy has always been really cool when I've seen her on the outs as well. So luckily I wasn't coming in just completely blindsided, but I don't think any kind of meet and greet, prep, talk, peep, whatever, boop, watch the video, it doesn't do it justice. It doesn't do it justice actually being in the midst of these larger-than-life, overly opinionated women. So there was no prep factor for this.
Now, were you really surprised of all the shade that Phaedra was throwing? Because, I mean, I like me some Phaedra, but Phaedra was being really, really shady with that whole situation in, is it Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic?
It was Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, excuse me.
I was super surprised with the shade. Up until the studio, I had seen Phaedra a couple of times, but there had been no real conversation. There had been no opportunity for, hey, what's your middle name? Do you like pizza? Versus, have you ever done crack? It's like, how do you jump from high to that? It was just so rude, and it actually caught me off guard. Now, coming into this, knowing what this could be, I wanted to keep my class. I wanted to keep the brands that I came into this show with clean.
Right.
So I wasn't intent on coming for nobody's neck. I wasn't coming for nobody for no reason. But at the point that you just will not stop, I have to let you know, look, I got that bite back for you now. Please don't let the niceness fool you. So Puerto Rico, when she decided to bring all of that nonsense and, she's a pop star, I ain't said pop, even down to I will pop you upside your head if you keep talking crazy to me. I ain't said nothing like that the whole time, and yet she just wanted to violate my dreams, and she wanted to be real dusty about a couple of different things that just really had no purpose. So when we got to Puerto Rico, it was a wrap. I had to just go on and shut that down, and I also wanted to be the bigger person by apologizing, not for the comment necessarily, because that was just truth.
Right.
Truth can be hurtful at times, but at least it wasn't some fiction that I was throwing trying to hurt her. And my intention was not to hurt her as much as it was to stand my ground and let her know, okay, you crossing boundaries you don't want to do again.
And that was something that I did respect, the fact that you were able to kind of pull her to the side, chat with her, and say, hey, this is how I received it, et cetera, et cetera. And it was, pretty good to really see you guys kind of, make up and kind of move on from the situation. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was cool.
You don't sound too convinced.
The one thing that I have learned from this is that truces never really seem to last with this clique. So even though I did my part, I can only be happy about that, but I can't speak for what's going to happen down the road.
No, you're right. And how did you feel, which I kind of thought it was real rude, that they literally came when your performance was pretty much kind of over with. Now, was that true that they came late, or was it the way that the show was edited?
Oh, wow. The show can be very creative. But I wasn't doing the performance for them. I brought them on a trip that I already had planned before I ever got involved with these ladies. Like I said, I was doing my own thing before reality television. It's just people weren't as aware. And San Juan was a performance that I had planned months prior to, so I was there to perform for those people. If they got to see it, great. That's kind of the extra icing on an already really good cake. But if the icing wasn't there at the beginning, the cake was moist and good enough for me to enjoy myself anyway.
Right. And before we get to your single, which I can't wait to talk about that, is now you were sitting there firsthand, up close and personal, when Nene and Claudia was going at it. In your opinion, who did you think got the upper hand that night?
I'm sorry, one more time? I was sitting there first.
Up close and personal during the whole transaction between Nene and Claudia. Who do you think got red that night? Who got the upper hand that night to you?
Nene. And I think she knew it too. Yes, I think she knew it too. If y'all notice, she ain't wearing nothing that didn't involve a hat the rest of that trip.
I don't know. I'm watching it and I'm saying to myself, like, wait a minute, like Claudia is really, really, throwing some good jabs in. Because up until that time, you've never really seen anybody stand up to Nene in that way.
Right.
I mean, Candy has done it a couple times, but and even Sheree has done it a couple times too. But Cynthia Claudia seemed like she was really prepared this time.
It wasn't even about preparation. Let me tell you how I made my vote for Claudia on that night. Okay. You have your normal reads. You're a hoe. You can't get a man. You broke. I got this. You got those normal things that you can just blanket sweep everybody with. But when you can sit there and pick somebody apart from edge to history to fashion to when you can target specific things and just really kind of bounce back off of what they're trying to say about you, and you can do it with a smile and you can do it with poise and you can be unbothered the whole time. Honey. And it was so much worse in person. Like, y'all caught, what, was that maybe 5 minutes of it? That thing went for 15. Easy.
Wow.
Easy. And to me, hands down, Claudia.
Okay. Definitely. Now, of course, your new single 100 featuring the Brat. How did you even hook up with the Brat? I mean, because the Brat has been kind of laying low-key for a minute, and she doesn't do collaborations with just anybody. So how did that whole collaboration come about?
Oh, wow. If people just got a chance to really know Brat, they would see just how humble a person she is. And we have mutual friends, one of which is this guy named Blue. He's a producer out here in Atlanta. Shout out, Blue. When he heard 100, he was like, yo, you need to get this out right now, but you need a female rapper on that thing, and Brat would be perfect for it. And I was like, she don't do collaborations with everybody. Is she going to want to do it with me? She sat down and wrote in the studio, was asking my opinion about her lyrics, all of that. And it just happened so organically, and we have been so freaking cool since that. She's so supportive. She's super talented, and I really feel like her edge on that show on that song was exactly what it needed.
Definitely. Now, of course, your EP, officially yours, let's chat about that a little bit. Do you have any features on there, and when can we expect it?
Officially Yours is, like I said, a more in-depth look at who I am. And there aren't a bunch of features on there aside from Brat. It's just really introducing people to me as a vocalist and introducing people to me as a person. I'm in and out of relationships. I'm happy as a mom. I'm a woman who wants to be loved and who wants to be sexy and who wants to live life and be happy. You know, so anybody who can rock with that is really going to love Officially Yours. Plus, again, it's your girl coming into your house versus Janine or Monica or Dina or any of these other people. Like, you really get to connect with me with this music.
Wow, definitely excited about it. Are you going to be shooting any videos for any of the singles?
I sure am. The single for 100 is out right now on YouTube and Vimeo, and it's been doing great. 100 made it all the way to number 4 on iTunes charts, and I believe number 111 on the overall. The most current single that I just released a couple of days ago is called Trade It All. It is a ballad. It is a totally different look at what I'm able to do vocally, and we're going to be releasing that video within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. So you're doing it, man. I mean, you have your plate full, multiple television shows, movies. Your music is popping now. How does it feel that that the public is starting to really get to know you for the person, and that everybody's receiving your hard work really well?
It's humbling. It's really humbling. Like, I know for some people, it can make them feel like they that dude, they that ninja, because I can't say the other word. That it can make them feel really kind of puffed up and blown up. But I recognize that this doesn't happen without the people's support. I recognize that this doesn't happen without people really feeling like they like me and want to take that journey with me. There's a group of people, the Demetrians, who have been rocking with me since MySpace. Like, they believed in me when no one else was really paying attention. And so when I look at that and the exponential growth that's happened with the music, it just really makes you sit down and say, God is good. Dreams can come true, contrary to age, contrary to stigma, contrary to what everybody else says. If you feel like you can do it, trust me, there's somebody out there who's going to rock with you on it.
Definitely.
I'm just really feeling like I'm in such a blessed place right now.
And you sound like it too. And and again, I love interviews like this because watching you on television, especially with Atlanta Housewives, I do kind of feel like with Atlanta Housewives, they kind of only want you to see one side of things, or they want to make
very true. I'm so glad you said that.
But when you sit down and actually be able to talk to the person and get this, just get a taste of your personality, you seem genuine. You seem really passionate about your work. And it just shows that you have a really good work ethic because, again, you're doing so much and you're still able to manage everything all and still, remain to keep a peace of mind, which some people can't do because sometimes they get lost in these characters, in these personas.
Absolutely. And I have to credit my team for that. My publicist is amazing. My hair and makeup team. Y'all see Dallas on there with me on Housewives, and they keep me laughing. They keep me going, and they make life so much easier. My management team, I'm surrounded by really good people, and my son. That is the heart and soul of me. And he makes sure that he does his part so that I can continue to do my part. We're a team in this, and as long as we recognize that, we'll be all right.
Definitely. Now, is there anything that we can expect for Housewives and the reunion? Is there any surprises that you had that you want to kind of let us know about or anything of that nature?
All I can say is that, like with other reunions, but unlike other reunions, there's going to be some stuff you don't want to miss. Like this cast this year, I think has really been revved up and stepped up in a totally different way. Everybody else has done their thing, kudos, no shade to nobody. But when you have the additions to the show, like the Claudia Jordan, when you have the chemistry that you've been able to see with the different characters, it's going to be something you don't want to miss once we all get back together.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. And one thing I want to ask, now, of course, with Nene, we know how her persona is while the cameras are filming and in terms of even on social media. Is Nene that over the top? I'm talking about when the cameras are off. Like, is there any type of humbleness about her?
I don't think Nene has an off button.
Okay.
And that that might not be my tea, I might not necessarily want that all the time, but the beautiful thing about having such a diverse collection of women is that there is something for everybody, which I think is why the show is so popular. You know, I come across on the show very, very quiet, but that's because I'm watching and getting to know everybody, because I don't feel like everybody is deserving of everything you are. I just don't. You know, if you're going to be shady, you're going to be spanking, you're going to be stupid, I don't have time for you. But I have to sort through all of that. Nene just big. Hell.
Okay. Well, before we let you leave, I know your time is limited. Again, please shout out all your social media outlets where fans can follow you, as well as where can we purchase your music?
Absolutely. First off, thank you everybody for the support of 100 and Trade It All, which are both available on iTunes, CD Baby, and other outlets. The video for Trade It All will be out within the next 2 weeks. 100's video is available for view on YouTube and Vimeo. You can also follow me for any other updates coming up with me at Demi McKinney at Twitter, at Demetria, the number 4 real on Instagram. The website is DemetriaMcKinney.com, and I look forward to sharing my music and my life with you some more. God bless.
Thank you. You are an official friend of the show. Anytime that you want to come on and promote your projects, you are always welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh, you're so nice.
No problem. We also, again, support you in all your future endeavors and wish you much success.
Same to you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Baby, I hope you know that I love you and that I love us, but there's been a lot on my mind, and I gotta let you know how I'm feeling right now.
Heaven sent you and I, made for love. Can't nothing come between us, 'cause it's evident that what we got just won't stop. But some things been on my mind, boy. Just promise me I need honesty. I just wanna be in love. Keep holding me, controlling me, just showing me a good love. And there's one thing I know. If I traded all love, what you're giving is already enough. If I traded all, gonna give it to someone that I can trust. If I traded all, promise I won't fall. Baby, can I trust you with my heart? If I traded all, gonna give it to someone that I can trust. If I traded all, stimulate my mind, conversation, and you always on your grind, motivate.